discuss about the story of Krishna River, which is the second longest peninsular river of India. The story is related to a dispute between two Telugu-speaking states of southern India. These are Andhra Pradesh and Telangana. In 2014, when the state was bifurcated, the sharing of river water also became contentious. Farmers in both of states say that their fields are turning into desert because of the lack of water, as the water is flowing into the other state as such. At the same time, the dispute tribunal, which was created to settle and create a final solution for this issue or dispute, its deadline has been kept on extended by the central government, most recently till 31st of July 2026. So we'll try to understand that why one river which used to flow through one state now is split into two, and how still this dispute remain unresolved decades later. Also, we'll try to understand that how the other states such as Maharashtra and Karnataka have share in this particular river and river water as such. So first of all, you have to give the background of this entire topic. If you talk about River Krishna basically is 1,400 kilometers long river, and it is basically starting from Mahabaleshwar. Mahabaleshwar is in the westernmost part, Western Ghats, and then it flows out to Bay of Bengal. Now, in this particular case, total 811 trillion metric cube of water was given to Andhra Pradesh, United Andhra Pradesh we are talking about, when Telangana was a part of Andhra. That time its share was the total share allocated to undivided Andhra was about 811 TMC. This is almost, we can say, total water volume in the river is 2000 TMC. And currently, when the Andhra Pradesh and Telangana split, 6634 model was implemented. That means 66% of the total of this water would be given to Andhra Pradesh and 34% would be given to Telangana as such. Now, in November 2023, we have seen the dispute again became serious when along the Nagarjuna Sagar Dam, which is a very important dam on the Krishna River, the police forces from both of the states, Andhra Pradesh as well as from Telangana, they basically had a face off. And in this case, the question was that which state will have how much control over the water flowing across the river Krishna. Center, as we have discussed before, it has kept on extending the tribunal's deadline to decide that what should be the new additional share of Telangana after the splitting. But most recently, its deadline has been pushed to 31st July 2026. In this entire development, the core question, the biggest question that comes into mind, that when one state splits into two, how would you split the river? How would you split the share of the river water, as the river is a natural, basically you can say natural phenomena or natural entity. It does not know that new water exists. It would keep flowing the same way how it used to flow before the political division occurred. Now, if you try to look at that, the location of the disputed area. So as far as the river Krishna is concerned, it originates from Mahabaleshwar. Now Mahabaleshwar is situated in the western Ghats of Maharashtra, is very famous hill station, and you can see from here, this is a kind of temple from where the river seems to be originating out. Now the total length of river is 1,400. So second after Godavari. Godavari is about 1,450 km. It finally discharges and drains out in the Bay of Bengal, and it is also one of the India's major peninsular rivers, where a lot of people, a lot of farmers from many states depend upon the water of Krishna and its tributaries. Krishna, while flowing through the length of 1400 km, receives multiple tributaries both from the left bank side and the right bank side. Some of the major tributaries of Krishna, if we highlight, these are Bhima River, Tungbhadra River, Ghatprabha River, Malprabha River, as well as Musi River. Apart from that, there are two major sites. We can say the hydropower project, hydel projects, as well as the dam project that we have. The Sri Salam Dam, where we have total capacity of 811 TMC, and Nagarjuna Sagar Dam, which has total capacity of about 285 TMC. Now, both of these dams are jointly operated by the state of Telangana and Andhra Pradesh, and the location of these dams, geographical location also we talk about these dams, they are along the border of Andhra Pradesh and Telangana as such. Let us try to understand this also on the map. So if you look at the map, this is the river Krishna originating from the region that we have discussed, Mahabaleshwar. Bhima is one of the longest tributary of Krishna. And then from the right bank side, you'll see one of the tributaries that originate from the Karnataka, central Sahyadri of Karnataka, called as Tungbhadra River. So where Tungbhadra and the Krishna River join, around that you will find Sri Salam project. and just before that also we have Nagarjuna Sagar project as such. Then finally flowing through the region of Vijayawada in Andhra Pradesh, river forms extensive delta and drains out in the Bay of Bengal. Now in this particular river, total 4 riparian parties we can highlight. These are Maharashtra, which is upper riparian state, the region from where river originates. Then the river passes through Telangana, but it will receive one of the major tributaries from Tungabhadra. So there you will find Almaty Dam in Karnataka and Narayanpur Reservoir. So both of these are very critical for the Karnataka's water demand as well. Karnataka can be considered as the middle riparian state. Then further we have Telangana, which is post 2014 lower middle riparian state, we can say newly formed state as far as 2014 is concerned. And the last, the lowermost riparian state is Andhra Pradesh, which largely has control over the delta and coastal areas of the Krishna River. And pre-2014, the majority of water was allocated to this state itself. So that is the how water demand, water basically division can be seen between 4 states in this case. Now, how did the dispute begin? If you look at the entire history, so 1956, we know that Andhra Pradesh was formed, and there we have the United Telangana with the coastal and Rayalaseema regions and such. Then in 1969, a tribunal was created. Tribunal is called as Krishna Water Dispute Tribunal or KWDT-I. Now this also is popularly referred as the Bachawat Tribunal. So this was constituted to form an agreement that how water of the Krishna River would be shared between different riparian states and parties as such. Then 1976, finally, 7 years after Bachawat award was announced, where the total of 2060 trillion metric cube of the water was split among the three states that time, that is Maharashtra, Karnataka and undivided United Andhra Pradesh as such. After 2004, new tribunal by the name of Krishna Water Dispute Tribunal number 2 was created or constituted, because again there was a dispute between the states on the basis of the sharing of water or the availability of water. And as we know, the major development happened in 2014 when Telangana split from Andhra Pradesh, and now because the entire Andhra Pradesh had a share of 811 TMC, it also needed to be split into 2 parts to be shared between the state of Telangana and the Andhra Pradesh as such. And then most recently in 2023, additional terms of reference were notified to KWDT-II, that is Krishna Water Dispute Tribunal 2, that would determine that how the share would be split between the states of Andhra and Telangana as such. Now 2023 is also when we see a major flashpoint taking place or breaking through between both states, when police from Andhra Pradesh and Telangana faced off at Nagarjuna Sagar Dam over the water release a decade after bifurcation. And this is a clear reflection that though states have split, their desire for having control over water, it has still not settled. The demand and how much water should be shared between each state has not yet settled. If you look at the legal architecture, how entire water dispute is discussed or dealt in India, so it is similar. Like talk about entry 17, you have in the basically union list. So water basically is a state subject, state list, but interstate rivers, because it is flowing through several states, then it falls under the union list, the same constitutional basis as every interstate river disputes. River dispute deals with. So entry 17 versus entry 56. Then as far as the constitution is concerned, we have article 262. Under article 262, it empowers the Parliament of India to provide for adjudication of interstate river dispute. Interstate River Water Dispute Act 1956 then enabled both of the Krishna Tribunal. We have discussed before also with reference to Kaveri dispute. Kaveri Water Dispute Tribunal was created. That also was created under the Article 262 of the Constitution, and this particular act, that is called as Interstate River Water Dispute Act. So under this act, the water dispute tribunals were created. So first was created in 1969. Second was created in year 2004. So Bachawat Tribunal, as we have seen, it delivered the original award. Then KWDT-II was later constituted to revisit the allocation. Also interesting to note here is the Andhra Pradesh Reorganization Act 2014. The special legal layer, it is unique to this particular dispute, because everywhere else where we are seeing the major disputes in the rivers of India, the bifurcation of states or division of states has not taken place. So dispute has retained their original character, because since its inception, disputes were between two states that existed since the beginning itself. Here you have the single state being split into two. That makes the challenge more complex, that how to divide the water. So special legal layer is unique to this dispute, created The Apex Council under Section 84, we'll discuss later, an Apex Council was created, and another body by the name of Krishna River Management Board, also in short called as KRMB, was created as well. Now, apart from the legal architecture, if you look at the Section 84, because you just have discussed due to the reorganization of Andhra Pradesh into two states, Section 84 and the machinery it created, we can take a look at. So Andhra Pradesh Reorganization Act 2014, it has a section called as Section 84. Under Section 84, an Apex Council is constituted or created. Now this Apex Council will have the Union Jal Shakti Minister as a chairman, and apart from that, we'll have chief ministers of both the states, that is Telangana and Andhra Pradesh. These three-member committee, that is referred as Apex Council, would then finally try to resolve the Krishna and Godavari utilization issues, because the dispute between Telangana and Andhra Pradesh is not only related to river Krishna. Godavari river also is shared by both of the states. The basin of Godavari lies in both of the states, and to large extent the drinking water supply as well as the farming needs, agriculture needs of both the states depend on both of the river. So that's why a single organization, a single council by the name of Apex Council was created to settle both of the dispute between the state as such. 2023, a cabinet decision was taken where it was approved that additional terms of reference for KWDT would be given to divide the water between both of the Telugu states as such. Tribunal's deadline to submit its decision has been repeatedly extended. Now the most recent one is up to 31st July 2026. Now we take a look at the Apex Council. So as we can see from the discussion itself, it is a kind of political forum, political level body, and it is an attempt to bring central government and both of the state government together to resolve a dispute and to provide some sort of, we can say, final solution as such. Similarly, we have discussed Krishna River Management Board, KRMB, was created as well. So this is a kind of neutral or a political organization, a political body where we have officials from both the states plus the central government itself. And the objective of creating this KRMB was to jointly manage the project. We have discussed two major projects we have on the river Krishna, Sri Salam project, and then we have the Nagarjuna Sagar project. So how these both projects would be managed, how water would be shared, how the hydroelectricity, how hydropower generation would be done, all of this will be done by KRMB. It has no role in water allocation itself. It simply is managing both of the projects. Water allocation is not the, we can say, not, basically it is not in the terms and conditions of KRMB. Now here we have the friction point. The friction point is that Telangana has at times resisted handling full operation control of the shared project to KRMB. It is not in the favor that the Krishna River Management Board should be handling both the projects, even though the board plays no role in deciding each state's water share as such. This also is a friction point because Andhra Pradesh agrees that KRMB should be given the responsibility of the management of both Sri Salam and the Nagarjuna Sagar project as such. Now let us also try to understand about each state's position as far as this particular project is concerned. So first of all, if you talk about Telangana, Telangana says that the original ratio or interim ratio that was created for the division of 810 TMC of water between both of the state, that is 66 versus 34, it was a temporary arrangement. It was not a permanent arrangement. Now this entire sharing ratio should be changed based on the requirement and demand and the availability of water as such. Also, if you look at the formation of Telangana itself, water was one of the founding grievances, because when we talk about the Telangana statehood movement, it had talked about Nilu, Nidhulu and Niyamkalu. That means water, fund and jobs. So water, as we can see, was the founding grievance. That is also the reason why they wanted to create a separate state where they could have more say over the control of water, over the utilization of water. And Telangana government alleges that Andhra Pradesh routinely draws water beyond the sanction limit. So first of all, they have problem that this ratio itself is unjust, and also when the water is being shared based on this ratio itself, Andhra Pradesh is drawing more water that is beyond the sanctions share, especially when you have the peak agricultural month or farming month as such. So a fresh binding project wise award is the major demand of the state of Telangana. Now what does Andhra Pradesh says about it, or what is the stand of the Andhra government? So it says that both, we talk about the coastal regions of Andhra Pradesh and the Rayalaseema district that you have, they have basically developed their entire irrigation infrastructure, and we talk about the water, this drinking water infrastructure as well as the farming arrangement and all based on the 66-34 ratio. And because this ratio is reasonable ratio, it should be allowed to continue without making any amendment or changes. Simple. Telangana want to change this ratio, Andhra Pradesh says that this ratio should remain same. Next, it says that it is worried that Telangana lift irrigation scheme, lot of lift irrigation scheme Telangana has proposed, it will cut into the established command areas and the overall water that is being discharged to Andhra Pradesh would become lesser in flow. And also, as we have discussed, it is in the favor of strengthening the role or operational authority of the Krishna River Management Board, which Telangana clearly opposes or is against. Now, these are the two major riparian states fighting against each other or having dispute with each other on the basis in the context of the Krishna River. Apart from that, Karnataka, Maharashtra, what is their stand? So, Karnataka's core interest is ensuring the dispute currently that is going on between Telangana and Andhra Pradesh does not dilute its own Bachawat allocation. If you remember, I told you in the beginning that Krishna Water Dispute Tribunal, first also called as Bachawat Commission, it had basically provided allocation of the allocation of certain water share to all the four states. So Karnataka believe that that should be implemented even in the future. There should not be any changes. It is also frustrated by the delays in the gazette notification of the KWDT-II final award, as we have seen that its deadline has kept on being expended by the central government. Maharashtra is the upper riparian state, that is where river originate from. So its share was fixed also under the Bachawat award, and it mainly watches the entire dispute from the perspective of ensuring that its own allocation is not reopened by AP Telangana proceedings as such. So both of the states, Karnataka and Maharashtra, they do not have direct stake or share in this particular dispute, because this particular dispute is related to the allocation of water of Krishna between the state of Telangana and Andhra Pradesh, or out of around 800 TMC that was allocated to them. But they are concerned that any new changes should not modify or negatively adversely impact the share allocated to the state as such. Now, if you talk about where things stand as far as 2026 is concerned, so deadline extension we have discussed 66 to 34. As of now, at present, the ratio between which water is shared between Andhra Pradesh and Telangana is 66 versus 34. Two jointly run mega dams we have seen Krishna, we have the Nagarjuna Sagar Dam and the Sri Salam Reservoir. Tribunal process is still going on. KWDT-II has not yet submitted the terms of reference for Telangana Andhra Pradesh. The matter remains sub judice. Sub judice means it is still with the court, and the center confirm the delays because discussions are still underway. There is no finality or no final approval. Karnataka separately says delayed gazette notification of its own award has cost it 200 TMC of water. So parallel development also has taken place. Like we talk about the month of February last year, 2025, both of the states, that is Telangana and Andhra Pradesh, agreed in principle that the Sri Salam and Nagarjuna Sagar management should be given to KRMB. Political consensus is Telangana because opposition parties made a lot of furor in the state legislative assemblies. They also alleged that the state government of Telangana had surrendered its interest or surrendered against the demand of the Andhra Pradesh government as such. And similar thing we have seen in the case of Andhra politics as well. 2026 Jal Shakti Ministry, it set up a separate high-level committee apart from the Water Dispute Tribunal that you have, second one, to help resolve the Krishna and Godavari dispute. Now, if you try to think, this is also a problem because so many committees are being created to solve this dispute. And like for example, apex committee we have seen before, then we have the high level committee, then we have the Krishna Water Dispute Tribunal. So that also create more confusion. Now Telangana continues to flag alleged unauthorized drops by Andhra Pradesh at KRMB meeting. This has been its regular stand as such. The question is that what mechanisms exist to settle the dispute. So first of all, for any dispute in any river of India, a timely tribunal award plays important role. So a final binding KWDT-II verdict on the AP Telangana terms of reference can end a decade of stop gap sharing. The 66-34 ratio, which is contested with Telangana, if it changes, maybe some sort of finality can be given to this particular dispute as such. So how fast or the faster KWDT produces or provides its award, it will be better for the dispute. Second, empowering the apex council. We have seen that under section 84 of the Andhra Pradesh Reorganization Act, we have an apex council where you have the involvement of the central government as well as both the state government. This I think can be the the most high powered committee, and that's why whatever decision it takes can play a critical role, or we can say a fruitful role in ensuring that dispute does not escalate continuously. Third is the strengthening of Krishna River Management Board. Though Telangana always creates objection about the management of the project by KRMB, it should understand that it is a depoliticized body or a political body. So depoliticized handover of day-to-day project operation with real-time release data visible to both states can also help in building trust and consensus about the sharing of the river water as such. Apart from that, project-wise allocation also can be done. Granular project-by-project division as a 2023 TUR advises to reduce disputes over a specific new scheme as such. And this is a common trend we see across many disputes. Like currently between Tamil Nadu and Karnataka, the dispute is related to the proposed Meghdatu project. So any project, even if it is proposed in the future, should not be done unilaterally by any state. It should be done only after taking consensus, building trust, so that states can understand that this project is not going to harm them. Faster gazette notification. So KWDT experience is something from where we have to learn. Demand side efficiency. Now see, the other reason why states are fighting is because the demand of water is very high, especially in the agricultural season, especially in the farming season. So one way how the demand can be reduced is by shifting the method through which we carry out irrigation in the field. So currently we focus on canal irrigation. Rather than that, we can focus on micro irrigation or encourage micro irrigation in the field. So adoption and use of drip or sprinkler irrigation, reduction of the groundwater over extraction, and joint drought contingency planning. These are some other alternatives and the steps we can take to manage demand side issue of this water, and also to create a long lasting solution to this entire problem as such. Overall, by this entire discussion, one thing we can say is that the question of Krishna River and the sharing of water still remains open, still remains unresolved. The state has a split state still shares a single river, one river, and that is the crux of the problem. More than a decade after bifurcation, Telangana and Andhra Pradesh still operate under an endem ratio. That is the most important point. Almost 12 years have passed since 2014. Still the 66-34 ratio, which was an interim ratio, no changes have been made to them. So both states are looking for some sort of final award, final decision, a binding KWDT-II award. Binding means it has to be adopted and accepted by both of the state government, backed by an empowered apex council. If it is given approval at the apex council level, then it would also get credence. It would remain the clearest path to the lasting settlement. So that's what we have to hope for and we have to watch out for. That's all for this particular issue. I hope you understood the nitty-gritties of Krishna Water Dispute Tribunal and the Krishna Water Dispute between the states of Telangana and Andhra Pradesh. We will come back soon with the next water dispute, that is Godavari River Water Dispute. Thank you very much.